These are the smart mechanics who refuse to touch any car made after 2010, and they are not being stubborn, they are being strategic. Welcome to the world of the pre-modem loophole, where an invisible line in automotive history determines whether your mechanic can actually fix your car or simply throw up their hands in defeat. Picture this. It is 2009, and your neighborhood mechanic could diagnose any problem in your car with a $200 scan tool and some good old-fashioned know-how. Fast forward to today, and that same mechanic might need to spend $400,000 just to stay in business, because of a technology most drivers do not even know exists in their vehicles. The year 2010 marks a digital dividing line in automotive history. Before this watershed moment, cars were essentially computers with wheels. After 2010, they became smartphones with engines. That distinction has created a repair crisis that is splitting the automotive world in two. Let me explain what happened. In the early days of automotive diagnostics, everything was beautifully simple. Your car had an OBD2 port, that little 16-pin connector hiding somewhere under your dashboard. Any mechanic could plug in a scanner, read the codes, and figure out what was wrong. It was democratic, it was fair, and it was actually repairable. But then the automakers discovered something magical: wireless data transmission. Starting around 2010, cars began shipping with embedded cellular modems. Just like your smartphone, these vehicles could now connect to cellular networks and beam data directly back to the manufacturer. Suddenly, your car was not just telling you about problems, it was telling the automaker about everything you did behind the wheel. This is where the pre-modem loophole comes in. Vehicles manufactured before widespread telematics adoption, roughly 2010 to 2012, operate in a completely different diagnostic universe. These pre-modem cars still rely primarily on that physical OBD2 port for communication. No wireless data streams, no manufacturer gatekeeping, no subscription services required just to read error codes. Smart mechanics have figured out this divide, and they are making calculated business decisions based on it. They are essentially drawing a line in the sand and saying, "We will fix anything up to 2010, but after that, you are on your own." And honestly, can you blame them? Consider the numbers. The average modern car contains 30 to 100 individual computers. High-end luxury vehicles can have up to 150 separate electronic control units. That is not a typo. 150 different computers managing everything from your engine timing to your seat temperature. Compare that to a 2009 vehicle, which might have had a handful of simple control modules. But here is where it gets really insidious. Those post-2010 vehicles do not just have more computers, they have been deliberately designed to make independent repair nearly impossible. The automakers figured out they could create a two-tiered repair ecosystem where dealerships get the good stuff and everyone else gets locked out. Remember that $400,000 figure I mentioned? That is what one independent shop reported spending in 2024 just on education, equipment, and facilities to stay current with modern vehicles. And that is not a one-time cost, it is an ongoing subscription to stay in the repair game. Professional diagnostic scanners for modern vehicles cost between $600 and $3,000 each, but that is just the entry fee. Want to access advanced diagnostic functions? That will be $60 per vehicle just to unlock the VIN with the dealer, plus the cost of proprietary software subscriptions that can run $20,000 per manufacturer. Yes, per manufacturer. If you want to work on Ford, GM, Toyota, and BMW vehicles, you are looking at potentially $80,000 in annual software licensing fees alone. Meanwhile, that 2009 Honda Civic sitting in the corner can be diagnosed with a $200 generic scan tool, and it can tell you everything you need to know. The mechanics who have figured this out are not just being nostalgic for the good old days. They are making sound business decisions. Vehicles made before 2010 offer them several massive advantages. The diagnostic equipment is affordable and universal. Repair procedures are well documented and standardized. There are no wireless data barriers preventing access to critical information, but perhaps most importantly, these vehicles were designed with repair in mind. The engine bays are more spacious, the components are simpler, and you can actually see what you are working on without removing half the car first. As one mechanic put it, older cars were built with the DIY repairman in mind. This isn't just about convenience, it's about economic survival. Research shows that data restrictions cost independent repair shops an estimated $3.1 billion every year. That's billion with a B. Over 60% of independent repair facilities report difficulties with routine repairs due to manufacturer barriers, and more than 50% have to send up to 5 cars per month back to the dealer because they can't access the necessary diagnostic information. The automakers, of course, have a different perspective. They argue that modern vehicles require sophisticated diagnostic tools to ensure safety and proper repair. They claim that opening up wireless data access would create cybersecurity risks and potentially compromise vehicle safety systems. But here's the thing. This isn't really about safety. It's about control and money. Lots and lots of money. When General Motors launched OnStar in 1996, it was positioned as a safety and convenience feature. Emergency crash notification, roadside assistance, stolen vehicle recovery, all genuinely useful services. But somewhere along the way, telematics evolved from a helpful ad onto a mandatory subscription model that drivers cannot escape. By 2022, GM began including a 3-year prepaid OnStar subscription as a standard option worth $1,500 on many vehicles. Notice the language there. It is a mandatory option included in the price whether you want it or not. You are paying for the privilege of having your data harvested. And that data is valuable. Incredibly valuable. Your car knows when you drive, where you go, how fast you travel, and how you behave behind the wheel. It knows your daily routines, your favorite destinations, and your driving habits. Insurance companies are salivating over this information. Marketing companies want to buy it. Law enforcement agencies want access to it. But here is the kicker. While your car is busy transmitting your life story to corporate databases, independent mechanics cannot even access basic diagnostic information to fix your broken taillight. The mechanics who refuse vehicles built after 2010 have recognized this game for what it is: a deliberate attempt to corner the repair market. They have decided not to play along. These smart mechanics have found their niche in the pre-modem world, where repair actually means repair, not replace the entire module and hope for the best. They can offer competitive pricing because they are not paying thousands in software licensing fees. They can provide faster service because they are not waiting for dealer authorization codes. They can fix problems instead of just swapping parts. And their customers are catching on. There is a growing movement of people specifically seeking out vehicles built before 2010 precisely because they want something they can actually own and maintain. These are not just car enthusiasts, they are practical people who understand that true ownership means the right to repair. The irony is delicious. In an era where cars are supposedly more reliable than ever, we have created a system where basic maintenance is becoming impossible for independent shops. We have traded mechanical complexity for digital restrictions and somehow convinced ourselves this represents progress. So the next time someone tells you that pre-2010 cars are outdated or inferior, remember this. Those vehicles represent the last era when you truly owned your car. Everything after 2010 is just a very expensive lease agreement disguised as a purchase, where the manufacturer maintains permanent control over your property through wireless strings you can never cut. Smart mechanics know this. They have done the math. They have chosen their side of the digital divide. And honestly, they might be the only ones in this whole mess who actually understand what is at stake.